The air hung heavy with dust, a suffocating blanket that seemed to choke the life out of the landscape. The once vibrant world was now a desolate wasteland, where the only movement was the swirling of the red dust in the wind. Red dust, the color of rust and decay, painted the ground and the sky. It was as if the very essence of life had been drained away, leaving behind a barren, lifeless shell. It coated everything, a grim reminder of Earth's slow demise. Buildings crumbled, their once proud structures now reduced to skeletal remains, barely standing against the relentless assault of time and neglect. The sun, a bloated red giant in the sky, baked the wasteland with its unforgiving heat. The sky, once a brilliant blue, was now a murky red, reflecting the dying star's final throes. Then a shape appeared on the horizon, a faint silhouette against the oppressive backdrop. It was barely discernible at first, just a flicker in the distance. It shimmered, a mirage in the heat haze, playing tricks on the eyes. But there was something undeniably real about it, something that defied the desolation around it. But as it drew closer, it solidified, taking on a more defined shape. It was not a figment of the imagination, but a tangible object cutting through the haze. It was a spaceship, small and sleek, a stark contrast to the decaying world around it. Its metallic surface gleamed, untouched by the dust that covered everything else. The spaceship landed with a soft thud, sending a small cloud of dust into the air. The dust settled quickly, and a ramp lowered from the ship's belly. Out stepped a boy, his movements deliberate and cautious. He looked human, but his eyes, wide and silver, betrayed an otherworldly origin. They reflected the dying light of the sun, giving him an ethereal appearance. He had no memories, no past, just a name that echoed in his mind: Orion. He stood there, alone in the wasteland, a boy out of nowhere, searching for answers in a world that had none to give. Miles away, nestled in a network of biodomes, the last human colony clung to survival. A haven amidst the desolation, it was a testament to human resilience. Inside, life went on, a pale imitation of its former glory. The air was recycled, the food synthetic, resources were scarce, hope even more so. The colony leader, a woman named Dr. Anya Sharma, bore the weight of their survival on her shoulders. A brilliant scientist, she clung to the belief that Earth could be saved. But time was running out. News of the strange boy's arrival spread through the colony like wildfire. Some saw him as a threat, others a sign. Anya, however, saw an opportunity. She brought Orion to the colony. He was wary, his silver eyes reflecting the fear and suspicion around him. Yet he felt an inexplicable pull towards these fragile humans. One evening, Anya showed Orion the remnants of Earth's beauty, a preserved garden, a library filled with forgotten stories. He was captivated, a flicker of something igniting within him. "We are fighting to save our world," Anya said, her voice husky with emotion. "Perhaps you could help us." Orion's powers manifested gradually, like whispers in the wind. He could manipulate the dust, shape it, control it. It was a strange, raw power, one he was just beginning to understand. One day, a rogue sandstorm, a frequent occurrence in this dying world, threatened to engulf the colony. Fear choked the air, thick and suffocating. Orion felt a surge of protectiveness for these people who had shown him kindness. He stepped forward, raising his hand towards the approaching wall of dust. He concentrated, his brow furrowed in effort. The dust cloud responded, swirling and parting around the colony, leaving it untouched. It was his first act of protection. Section 5. A moment of connection, finding humanity. Life in the colony was, well, a crash course in humanity for Orion. He learned about their history, their culture, and their dreams. He discovered music, laughter, and the warmth of companionship. He grew close to Anya, seeing in her strength and compassion a reflection of the protector he longed to be. He played with the children, their laughter a balm to his lonely heart. He discovered a love for Earth, for its resilience, its beauty hidden beneath the scars. He was no longer just an alien boy, he was becoming something more. As Orion grew stronger, so did the whispers of his past. Flashes of memory, fragmented and confusing, haunted his dreams. He saw a planet shrouded in light, a loving family, and a name, Orion, spoken with pride. Then darkness, a cataclysm, fire and destruction, a desperate escape and a mission entrusted: protect Earth. He was the last of his kind, the last hope. The weight of his destiny settled upon him, heavy and inescapable. He was the protector, not just of this colony, but of the very future of Earth. The inevitable finally arrived. Raiders, desperate and ruthless, attacked the colony. They craved the remaining resources, the hope it represented. A ferocious battle ensued. The defenders, outnumbered and outgunned, fought with the courage of desperation. Orion, a whirlwind of dust and fury, fought alongside them. He was a force of nature, protecting the weak, striking down the aggressors. But they were relentless, pushing forward, their greed blinding them. Just when all hope seemed lost, Orion remembered. He wasn't just controlling the dust. He was the dust. It was part of him, and he could command it with his will. With a roar that shook the very foundations of the wasteland, Orion unleashed his full power. The ground trembled beneath his feet, and the air crackled with energy. His eyes glowed with an intense light, reflecting the sheer force he was about to release. In a blinding flash, a powerful energy burst erupted from him, illuminating the desolate landscape. The attackers, caught off guard, were thrown back by the sheer force of the explosion. The dust storm rose, a towering inferno of red engulfing the attackers. The swirling dust clouds created a barrier, making it impossible for them to see or move forward. The storm raged on, relentless and unforgiving. The ground beneath them began to break apart, collapsing under the immense pressure. Tons of earth buried the attackers, trapping them beneath the surface. The once fierce battle was now a scene of devastation. When the dust settled, an eerie silence descended upon the wasteland. The air was thick with the remnants of the battle, and the landscape was eerily still. The once chaotic scene was now a haunting reminder of the power that had been unleashed. The colony was safe for now. The people emerged from their shelters, their faces etched with relief and gratitude. They had witnessed the true extent of Orion's power, and they knew they owed their lives to him. But the victory came at a cost. The aftermath of the battle was evident in the weary faces of the survivors. They had lost friends and family, and the weight of their sacrifice hung heavy in the air. Orion was severely weakened, his energy depleted. He had given everything he had to protect the colony, and now his body was paying the price. His once strong and powerful form was now frail and exhausted. He collapsed, his body racked with pain. Every muscle ached, and his vision blurred. He could feel the life draining from him, and he knew he couldn't hold on much longer. Anya rushed to his side, fear etched on her face. She had seen the toll the battle had taken on him, and she was terrified of losing him. Her heart pounded in her chest as she knelt beside him, her hands trembling. He looked at her, a small smile gracing his lips. Despite the pain, he found comfort in her presence. Her worried eyes met his, and for a moment the world around them faded away. I protected them, he whispered, his voice hoarse. Each word was a struggle, but he needed her to know that he had fulfilled his promise. He had given everything to keep them safe. You did, Orion? Anya said, her voice choked with emotion. You saved us all. She embraced him, holding him close as tears streamed down her face. In that moment, they both knew that his legacy as the protector would never be forgotten. Orion recovered, slowly but surely. The journey had been arduous, filled with trials that tested his spirit and resolve. Each day he found solace in the gentle whispers of the wind and the rustling leaves, nature's way of healing his wounds. The hillside became his sanctuary, a place where he could reflect on the past and gather strength for the future. The colony thrived, the threat of the raiders a distant memory. The once desolate land now buzzed with life and activity. Markets bustled with traders, children played in the open fields, and the air was filled with laughter and hope. The community had come together, united by a shared vision of a brighter future. Under Anya's guidance, they rebuilt, their hopes rekindled. Anya, with her unwavering determination and wisdom, became the heart of the community. She inspired everyone to contribute, to rebuild not just their homes, but their spirits. Orion stayed, finding a new sense of belonging among these resilient people. He had found his purpose, his home. The village, with its serene landscapes and warm-hearted inhabitants, became more than just a place to live. It was a symbol of hope and renewal, a testament to the strength of the human spirit. He was their protector, their guardian, their beacon of hope in a dying world. Orion took on this role with pride and humility, always vigilant, always ready to defend his newfound family. His presence was a constant reminder that even in the darkest times, there is always a glimmer of light. He was the bridge between two worlds, the legacy of a fallen planet entrusted with the protection of another. His past, filled with loss and sorrow, gave him the strength to fight for a better future. He carried the memories of his people with him, honoring their legacy through his actions. And sometimes, on clear nights, when the stars twinkled in the vast expanse above, he could almost hear them. The stars, like distant whispers, told stories of old, of a time when his people roamed the universe. They were a reminder of where he came from and the journey that lay ahead. Whispers from his past, his home, his people, gone but never forgotten. These moments of reflection under the night sky were sacred to him. They connected him to his roots, grounding him in the present while guiding him towards the future. He was alone, yet never truly alone. The memories of his people, the bonds he had formed, and the love he had found in this new world surrounded him, giving him strength and purpose. He was Orion, protector of Earth, and his journey had just begun. With each sunrise, he embraced the challenges ahead, ready to defend his home and honor the legacy of his past. The future was uncertain, but with courage and determination, he knew he could face whatever came his way.